Today, we're rewriting the history of football using Football Manager 2024. And specifically, we're using the brand new 1986-1987 database from MrTini and MadScientist. I'll link to them down in the description below. So if you want to have a play around with this yourself, you can go and grab the database from them. But to give you a rough overview of what we're dealing with here, they have set up a Football Manager database that is accurate to the start of the 1986 football season. All the right players at all the right clubs, and most importantly, all the players who've appeared in the near 40 years since then will come through as new gens at the right point in the save. So this is still a world that will see Messi and Ronaldo and George Boyd, maybe. George Boyd's probably not in there. I imagine he's probably not at the right level to be in there. But all the big stars will be in there, and we're now going to have a look to see where they end up. But before we do that, obviously we have to see where they're coming from. And one of the things I love most about this database is that it has all the correct graphics. So we've got Everton with their 80s badge, with their 80s kits, and of course with their 80s squad, including one of my favourite goalkeepers ever, Fred Barber, who later went on to play for my Peterborough United in the early 90s. But yeah, this is, and I mean, it's a squad, it's a game full. Ignore this stuff. It's a game, there's certain stuff that's hard coded that stays in the game, but it's absolutely full of the players from that time, as you'd expect. These are the 1986-1987 squads. Couple of things you'll notice as different. It's the first division, not the Premier League. 22 teams rather than 20, because that's how it was back then. We have got the second division as well. If we have a look at who the media Dream 11 is, it's heavily Liverpool-y and Everton-y, with a little bit of Manchester United and Arsenal and Spurs, I guess, thrown in. But I mean, 24-year-old Ian Rush. Brian Robson is the best player in the Premier League, apparently, at Manchester United, worth up to £69 million. And yeah, Everton and Liverpool joint favourites to win the first division title. But it's not the biggest league in the world. The biggest league in the world in 1986 is Serie A. It's a 16-team Serie A. If we have a look at the season preview here, Juventus are the team expected to win the league, but the best player in the league is some guy called Diego Maradona, who's only 25 years old. He's at Napoli in his absolute prime. I mean, that's quite fun, isn't it? And then if we have a look at the Primera division, the precursor to La Liga, presumably, and over there, Real Madrid expected to win the league. And look who's there knocking around at Barcelona, a 25-year-old Gary Lineker, who's just left Everton, I think, and moved over to play for Barcelona. So lots of stuff going on. We are going to holiday forward 10 years, which will get us to 1996. So Euro 96 will just be happening. And we'll check in every 10 years as we go through, and hopefully keep an eye out for the big stars of the modern game, see where they end up, see if any of them maybe don't develop into top superstars, and also see if we get some weird things happen, like Everton continuing to dominate in England, I guess, would be pretty weird. So we've moved forward to 1996. Ignore the fact it's 2033. Again, another thing you can't change in Football Manager. We know we've gone forward 10 years, so this is 1996. And as you can see, the Premier League has been largely dominated. But I mean, Forest, sorry, the first division, not the Premier League. So we had Arsenal, Forest, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Liverpool, Liverpool. And we're going to check in again on who the Dream 11 are to see what weirdness we've got going on. And I mean, that front two's not too shabby, is it? Eric Cantona of Liverpool. Oh. I mean, that's probably not going to go down very well with Manchester United fans. He never went to Leeds, but I mean, he is probably the greatest player in the history of Liverpool Football Club at this point. Look at that goal return. Look at that career Eric Cantona has had at Liverpool. Oh my word. Is he a Liverpool legend? Can you imagine? He's a Liverpool icon, and he won't necessarily retire at 30 in this universe either. He's got more time to push on and potentially become a Liverpool legend in this universe, which would be delicious for Eric Cantona to become a Liverpool legend. Dennis Bergkamp is I guess, the Cantona replacement at Manchester United, which I'm less keen on seeing that happening. And again, look at the goal return from Dennis Bergkamp. He never went to... Where was he before Arsenal? Inter, I think. He never went to Inter. So, yeah, just straight from Ajax to Manchester United, and has been a goal machine for them. Interestingly, going off playing in all sorts of European competitions, Club World Cups. No fear of flying in this world, is there, Dennis? Goodness me. Are you a Manchester United legend? Oh, Dennis Bergkamp's a Manchester United legend. And that's one of the more hideous things I've ever seen. But if we have a look at who else is in that Dream 11, I mean, there's obviously, you're still going to get the normal new gens. He's Olaf Thon, and is he real? He's real. Maybe he's real. I'm showing my own ignorance there. There's going to be players here who are normal Football Manager new gens. It doesn't stop them coming through altogether. Who's Ian Smith? I feel like he's an example. I don't know who Ian Smith is. Was he real? Is he real? So there's going to be a few that we're not familiar with, but Oliver Kahn is Chelsea goalkeeper, is an interesting one. Liverpool favourites to win the first division. Serie A is still the best league in the world. So who are the best players here now? Luis Figo of Milan, Maldini of Milan. Mark Overmars has gone to Inter. Ruud Gullit is knocking around, playing for Juventus. The Milan legend playing for Juventus is an interesting one. I do just want to check in on how Maradona's career... Maradona? Not Maradona. Maradona. He's probably retired now. Diego... how do you spell his name? There he is. Oh, no, he's still at Napoli. A 35-year-old Diego Maradona is still at Napoli in 1996. Fair enough, Diego. You do you. You have a lovely old time. As far as Serie A goes, it's very much been Inter's league. Although, was that a win for Verona? No, that was a real-life one in 1985. But largely Inter winning there. And then if we go and have a look at what's going on in Spain as well, where Barcelona have been completely dominant. I wonder how much of that was to do with Gary Lineker. Is he still there? Gary Lineker is still there. Gary Lineker and Mark Hughes both still at Barcelona in 1996 is madness. But yeah, Gary Lineker, he's like Bergkamp and Cantona have been in England. Lineker's just been scoring for fun in Spain, and quite a few goals for England as well. Mark Hughes, I guess, has been his partner for a lot of that as well. Yep, they've had a lovely time knocking about in Spain together. Unlike in real life, Graham Lasso is playing for Barcelona, having previously passed through Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal. That's one I didn't necessarily expect. Pep Guardiola, that's a familiar looking name. So Pep Guardiola, who's had a season on loan at Arsenal, is now establishing himself as a Barcelona player as well. And David Seaman is in the La Liga Dream 11. David Seaman of Real Madrid. Went from QPR straight to Real Madrid. No passing through Arsenal here. Did still very much enjoy his time at Peterborough, though, as he should. What a time to be alive. And I will just check in on who's been winning the European Cup. Bayern Munich have won it most recently, so I guess we do need to go and see what's going on in Germany. So Bayern Munich, off of the Bundesliga, and they have been dominating. Although Cologne have won it most recently, but it is very much a league dominated by Bayern Munich players. Who is there? Quinn. Niall Quinn. Niall Quinn of Bayern Munich is the best striker at one of the best teams in Europe. £62 million he left Arsenal to go to Bayern Munich. I was not expecting to see that. That's bonkers. Schmeichel is Bayern Munich's goalkeeper. He never went to Manchester United. He did pass through Everton, and then went to Bordeaux, and then on to Bayern Munich. Wow. Okay, then. Fair enough. And let's just see who the best players in the world are. So if we look at the Ballon d'Or over the last few years, I know I'm not allowed to say his name on YouTube. I've tried that before and it caused me problems. Gary Lineker was second that year. Yeah, we've got a few familiar names. Romario of Arsenal won the Ballon d'Or. Oh, now is that a consolation prize for not getting Dennis Bergkamp? I mean, it's not bad having 10 years of Romario whilst he's winning a Ballon d'Or. Alan Shearer, still at Southampton in 1995, is now at Milan. So Alan Shearer tearing it up in England for Southampton, but has gone to Milan, and it's finding it quite hard to get goals in Milan. And I mean, look at that goal return for England, though. 74 goals in 65 caps. Presumably partnering Gary Lineker for a lot of it as well. What a strike partnership England have got. Surely England have been winning some things with those two playing up front, you would think. No. And then most recently, it's Luis Figo who has won the Ballon d'Or. Right, let's go forward another 10 years, this time to 2006, which by my calculations, will Messi and Ronaldo exist in 2006? I'm trying to work out how old they are. They must do. There we have a 19-year-old Lionel Messi, who's a holding midfielder. Excuse me, Football Manager? Are you sure? I mean, he's a defensive midfielder and central midfielder. He's still playing for Barcelona's B team. He's not made the breakthrough to the Barcelona first team yet. He's at Barcelona Athletic. Lionel Messi, maybe not going to go on to become the best player in the world. What about Ronaldo? Cristiano Ronaldo is at Sporting, as you'd expect. He has made his Portugal debut. This is a bit more like it. So Ronaldo has played for Portugal just once. He's still at Sporting at 21 years old. How old was he when he went to Man United in real life? I feel like he was younger than that. So maybe he's not going to end up as one of the best players in the world either. So if it's not them two, who is it going to be? Heading back to England, and we've got a lot of the usual suspects winning the first division. Manchester United won it a few times, Liverpool, Arsenal. Surprisingly, Southampton, though, winning the first division, presumably as a result of just how good Alan Shearer has been for them. Southampton have won a Premier League or a first division. They've also finished runners-up in the European Cup as well. So Southampton are a big club. What's Southampton's all-time best 11? Yeah, Alan Shearer, 209 goals. John Robertson, actually 250 goals for them, has outscored Alan Shearer. Johan Miku has also outscored Alan Shearer. He played over 500 games for the club. Andy Townsend with nearly 700 Southampton appearances. Just jump back in to see who the best players in the Premier League are. So your front two, your best striker in the Premier League in 2006 is Craig Bellamy of Everton, who went from Norwich straight to Everton. I mean, we've seen the goal returns of Cantona and Bergkamp. He's no Cantona and Bergkamp. It feels like strikers maybe not as good in this version of history as they were in real life. He looks all right. He's at Liverpool. And that looks like a Manchester United shirt on Patrick Vieira. So Man United got Bergkamp and Vieira. Yikes. Vieira went from Cannes to Werder Bremen, didn't pass through AC Milan, and went from Werder Bremen to Manchester United. That's quite upsetting. Steven Gerrard is a Liverpool player, came through the youth system at Liverpool and has stayed there and seems to have developed pretty much into what Steven Gerrard developed into in real life by 2006. So that seems about right. Ashley Cole is at Arsenal. I wonder if he's going to leave and go to Chelsea sometime soon. Serie A still considered the best league in the world, and they are sharing the league titles around a little bit. Michael Owen is the best striker in Serie A. Michael Owen of Milan. Wowzers. 148 million he went to Milan for. Of course, in real life, it was probably around this time he went to Real Madrid. So I guess a similar kind of move. I don't think Michael Owen is 6'1", but I guess a similar kind of move, because in this world, Serie A remained dominant as it was in the 80s and 90s, whereas in real life, by this point, La Liga was your dominant league, so he went there. David Beckham is also playing in Serie A at 31 years old, playing for Inter. He, again, same as what we were saying with Michael Owen, didn't make the Real Madrid move, went to Serie A instead, where he's been hanging out playing for Inter, and not very often for England, it seems. So heading to Spain, your third best league in this universe, and this is your best team. Makaleli made it there. As did Jerzy Dudek. I mean, if Michael Ballack's the best player in your league, it feels like a weak league. But maybe that's me being a little bit harsh on Michael Ballack and not really remembering him properly. But let's have a look at the Bundesliga, where Bayern Munich are starting to dominate. And that's a Bayern Munich who have Sol Campbell playing for them, who Spurs actually got a transfer fee for in this universe. Editor Chris will be delighted. So happy, he'll probably put a picture of him on screen looking really happy now. He went to Milan for 25 million and then moved on to Bayern Munich for 79 million. Buffon is also in Germany, but not where you would expect him to be. He's at Cologne and at 28 years old has only played one time for Italy. So left Parma to go to Everton and couldn't get in the Everton team. Has Gigi Buffon been ruined by Neville Southall? In fact, no, it's Toldo in goal for Everton. He's been in goal for Everton for years. I guess we are in 2006. Neville Southall was a little bit ambitious. But I don't know. Toldo staying in ahead of Buffon is an interesting one. By the way, John Terry of Everton, £43 million signing from Chelsea. Which, the longer you look at it, the more you see players just appear. In fact, there's Wayne Rooney. He's come through the Everton youth team. Doesn't look very good, does he? It looks like Wayne Rooney might be one of those who doesn't develop into a superstar. Robinho's knocking around there as well. I can't spend too long dwelling on all the teams. Let's look at the European Cup. European Cup continues to be shared around. Juventus winning it most recently. And then again, if we look at our Ballon d'Or winners, we're just looking really for recognisable names, and I mean recognisable by me. Oh, there's Eric Cantona finishing second again. Did he become a Liverpool legend? He didn't. Eric Cantona, Liverpool icon. Get that on a t-shirt. Goodness me. Who else have we got? Bergkamp. I mean, Bergkamp's just excellent, isn't he? Davor Suker, pipping Dennis Bergkamp to the title that year. Ian Smith, I'm fairly confident is a new gen, but I could be wrong. Luis Figo just ahead of Alan Shearer that year, and now Mario Jardel winning it 2 years in a row, denying Alan Shearer, then Claude Makelele, who then left Real Madrid. Oh no, I thought he left Real Madrid to go to Germany. It must have been a different Makelele. Maybe I noticed him in the Real Madrid team. Let's go forward another 20 years. 2016 now. We're getting closer to the future. Has Messi stopped playing as a holding midfielder? Has he made his Barcelona debut? The answer to both of those questions seems to be yes. He is still a natural defensive midfielder, but he's also a natural attacking midfielder and natural striker. At 29 years old, he got 31 goals in 27 appearances for Barcelona last season. So it looks like in the last 3 years, they've started playing him up front. And who'd have thought that was his position after all? Who's Barcelona's manager while all this is going on? They don't have one. Who's been their manager? Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger ruined Messi. There's your headline. Wenger had to leave Barcelona for Enrico Arana to notice that Messi might be able to do a job up front, and then he became a real top player for Barcelona. That's hideous. Only 15 goals for Argentina as well. Let's check in on Ronaldo, who of course also didn't look like he was turning into real Ronaldo. He's at Sampdoria, which doesn't bode well, does it? Although he's earning 190 grand a week. He's paid 97 times for Portugal. So actually, maybe Sampdoria are good. Serie A, we know, is or has been the best team in the world for most of this save file. So maybe Sampdoria are good. What's he got on his personal accolades? I mean, he has won some things. So, okay, maybe Sampdoria are not rubbish. If we head to Serie A, I mean, it's Milan who are dominating. So he's not won a Serie A because Milan are absolutely dominating it. Does he get in the Dream 11? He doesn't, because on the left wing, it's Eden Hazard of Inter who gets into the Dream 11 ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo. That's Eden Hazard, who spent the last 6 years playing for Leicester before joining Inter. Up front is Cavani. On the right is Hulk. Virgil van Dijk has made it to Milan. Look at that for a value. That's possibly the highest value I've ever seen in Football Manager. They spent £131 million to bring him in from Milan. He's still only 24. In real life, what, was he still playing for Celtic? Had he gone to Southampton at that age? He certainly wasn't earning 350 grand a week at 24. He's got to be one of the best players in the world. That's madness. Ronaldo is one of the better players. He is. You don't have to scroll to find him. If we head to England, Southampton, unbelievably, winning a couple more titles, this time without Alan Shearer. So this is your 2016 Southampton team that's just won the Premier League. Arjen Robben, the obvious superstar in there, I guess, who's been there for a long time. They've also got Vidic at the back, who has spent almost his entire career at Southampton. He's been there, what, 20 years at Southampton? Getting on for 20 years at Southampton. Nemanja Vidic is bonkers. He partners Daniel Agger at the back and Matty Targett, 20-year-old left back. I mean, he's not played for him. I don't know why he's showing there as being in the 11. If we look at who our best players in the Premier League are, Carlos Tevez, off of Arsenal. Okay. I mean, he's had a decent career, hasn't he? Straight from Boca Juniors to Arsenal. He would have been there on the last update. We just didn't notice him yet. But since then, he has been phenomenal. In midfield, we've got Gareth Bale of Spurs by the looks of it. That is a Tottenham Gareth Bale. That I'll flag that up as a shouldn't he have come through at Southampton? Because Gareth Bale's come through at Spurs there. We might need a database tweak. Get VAR involved. Robben and Vidal, both of Southampton in the Dream 11, alongside Shota Anuki, who, is he real? Am I being ignorant again? I don't know who's real and who's not. Neuer's in the Premier League, playing for Manchester United, though. He never went to Bayern Munich in this world. And then the Bundesliga has actually moved above La Liga as one of the top leagues in the world. Mane is one of the best players there, off of Bayern Munich. Took the shortcut there. Emmanuel Adebayor is a right winger at Werder Bremen, on his way to Barcelona at 32. Every part of that sentence seemed odd. And Vincent Kompany is at Werder Bremen. Did pass through QPR, Stoke and Bayern Munich on his way to his forever home at Werder Bremen. And David De Gea is also in goal for Werder Bremen, having gone there from Atletico. And I've just noticed a stray Theo Walcott just knocking around. Again, I mean, I know Southampton are doing quite well in this universe. He should have come through at Southampton too. What have we got against Southampton? And then if we head to Spain and look at our Dream 11, Messi is in the Dream 11 as a defensive midfielder. That's hideous. Benzema is in up front. Benzema off of Atletico Madrid did pass through Manchester City on his way there. Who is this Kennedy? Marvin Kennedy? I'm going to call New Gen and assume we didn't miss out on a Marvin Kennedy star. Messi is considered the best player in La Liga, to be fair. They've just got his position wrong. If we look at the European Cup, Milan have won it a lot. How many times Champions League winners are 13 times Champions League winners? AC Milan. They're doing all right, aren't they? And the Ballon d'Or, Arjen Robben of Southampton has won it the last 3 years in a row. Which is all right, isn't it? He was runner-up the year before that as well. Arjen Robben is the Messi of this generation, clearly. David Trezeguet winning it a couple of times, tipping Michael Owen. Michael Owen, who is now back at Liverpool on loan from Milan. After Milan signed him for 148 million, he spent like 12 years there and has now gone back to Liverpool on loan. Bless him. That's nice. That's a nice little story. And David Beckham did win a Ballon d'Or as well. He's now, or then he was 32. He's now an unemployed manager. I guess there's no Inter Miami in this universe. And now we're just going to jump forward one more time to the present day. So moving forward to the present day, and as you can see, Southampton are the dominant team in the Premier League, having won most of them over the course of these 10 years. That is a Southampton team managed by that guy, whoever he is, and this is their team. Alexander Isak up front for Southampton. He did go to Newcastle. A little bit cheaper to get him away from Newcastle than it looks like he's going to be in real life now. Man United, the one that got away, maybe. They've also got Valverde in midfield at Southampton. Southampton are a good side. Goodness me. David Alaba in at left back as well. Reece James is at Southampton. Having been released on a free transfer by Chelsea, going to Standard Liège, and then ending up at Southampton. What a weird career trajectory that is. We look at your Premier League Dream 11, a front two of Lautaro Martinez of Liverpool, alongside a guy, I don't know who he is, Marcus Rashford of Manchester United. Sorry, of Arsenal. Okay. So Rashford's gone to Arsenal for 59 million. Declan Rice is at Everton and can play right wing back. He actually left West Ham to go to Milan and then went on to Everton. Paul Pogba of Manchester United came through there, never left, had a couple of loans, but never left. They didn't have to buy him back for crazy money. And then Rodrigo of Spurs, goodness me. And then Alaba's in at centre-back. And Oblak of Arsenal is the goalkeeper in the Premier League Dream 11. And in fact, the English First Division is now the top division in the world as well, being led there by Southampton, who have only won the one European Cup, but are 10 times First Division winners, have also won the Club World Cup. Southampton are quite good. We head over to Italy. The Milan domination seems to be slowing down. There's a few other teams getting involved, including Sampdoria. Were they led by Cristiano Ronaldo to do it? Probably not, because he's 1,000 years old and has probably retired. We will check in on him. Martin Odegaard is in the Sampdoria midfield now, though, having come through at Real Madrid. And making his way through Marseille and on to Sampdoria. Am I a horrible football fan for not really recognising any of the other names? Maybe I am. You'll tell me where I'm wrong. That's what the comment section is for. In the Bundesliga, it's not complete Bayern Munich dominance, although the front four of the Dream 11 is, and there's Erling Haaland. 25-year-old Englishman, Erling Haaland. I mean, I presume he had the choice, but has decided he's going to play for England. Good boy. Passed through Spurs. Bad boy. Bad Erling. But then ended up going to Bayern Munich, where he's having a lovely time. And David De Gea still knocking around in goal for Werder Bremen after all these years. And then if we head to Spain, where Messi is no longer in the Dream 11, very sad. Trent Alexander-Arnold is, though, so he has made it to Spain, but at Atletico Madrid rather than Real Madrid. And Liverpool actually made a bit of money off him on this world, so he probably didn't get booed on his way out. He only played like 12 times for Liverpool. Mark Gray is there as well. He decided to become Ivorian in this world, so we've had to trade Gray for Haaland. I'd probably take it. I think that's a deal I'd probably take. 97 million he's gone to Atletico for. And let's just check in on Messi, Ronaldo. I think Messi's probably retired. Retired at Barcelona with 184 goals in 413 appearances. Retired at 38. Never went to America. Probably never won his World Cup either. Did win the FIFA Pro Best Player in the World. Did win a Ballon d'Or in the end. So once he turned into a striker, he did eventually win the one Ballon d'Or, as did Gareth Bale. So he's as good as Gareth Bale. Ronaldo wasn't on that Ballon d'Or list anywhere, though. So what happened to him? He retired at Sampdoria. Not quite the same, is it? You know someone we haven't seen? Kylian Mbappe. He's still at Monaco at 27. He's still at Monaco, wanted by a load of rubbish, never played for France. This isn't Mbappe's world, is it? So there we have it, boys and girls. We simulated the last 40 years of football in Football Manager, and what a different world we ended up with. Southampton are 10 times Premier League winners. Messi is a great defensive midfield player. Mbappe never played for France. And Eric Cantona is a Liverpool icon. I could play around in this database for hours, but of course we need to fit this into a normal size YouTube video. If there's loads of stuff that is missing that you'd like me to go and check in, I'm up for doing a part 2. Just get your requests, your questions down into the comment section, and if we get enough of them, we'll do a part 2. I'm also open to doing this on some of the other retro databases as well. So again, if you like this kind of content, leave a thumbs up. If enough people like it, we'll go and explore some of the other retro databases. And if you want to play around on this database for yourself, like I say, it's by Mr. Teeny and Mad Scientist. It's a collaboration. The link to them is down in the description below, so you can go and get it downloaded and get to playing on it. I'm not going to give you my version because obviously you should go and get their version, reward them for the hard work they've put in. But if you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.